السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا. مرحبا. Welcome, guys. My name is Jacket Zaman. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It's Saturday. As you can hear, my throat is quite bad today. So, Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to this live stream. Hope you guys are in the bestest of health, better than me. Right. So, Saturdays we usually have a Q&A where I ask, or you guys. Sometimes I do ask questions, where you guys ask questions, and then I try to answer your questions. So today, let's see what kind of questions you guys have. This is your curious cat. Let me just go on to Instagram. Let's see if you guys, Instagram people, are on live as well. Okay, let's see Instagram. Okay, Q Saturday. There you go. All right, so right, Kazmataz wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Muhammad Hussein, wa alaikum assalam, dear Sheikh. How's it going, Lala? Very good. Thank you very much, my brother. Muhammad Hussein. I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday as well. Is Mutsam on the tea break? Yes, I was actually making tea. I think when you send that message, it's probably making tea. Maybe I have some water and just warm water and honey for my throat. Tanweer, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is Khatam Bukhari and does it have any basis? Khatam Bukhari basically means completion of Bukhari. So completion of Bukhari obviously was not at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, but this is like an event, a celebration where a person is happy at something. So it's permissible as long as a person does not believe that doing the Khatam Bukhari in this particular way is part of the deen. As in, if you do it this way, you get special reward. If you don't do it this way, so there's no idea, there's no Sahaba ever did Khatam Bukhari or anything like that. Real Drama, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. AB, wa alaikum assalam. Sheikh, if I understood correctly, you meant you can watch Umar series with Arabic titles. Yes. Can you tell me how, since I could not find an Arabic subtitle only for the first episode? I can't remember, because I watched it, I think I watched it probably about several years ago now, maybe 6-7 years ago, whenever it came out. But I think when I watched it, there were some subtitles for it. Isn't there like in captions, doesn't it come up? Or something like that. I'm not too sure. But I think there was captions or something like that. If anyone does know, then put in the comments. Muhammad Mullah, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Muhammad Mullah, how's it going, bro? What's the latest? Arsalan Shazad, wa alaikum assalam wa sahlan. In a sentence where there are two or more jama' ghair aqils and you want to refer to them using a damir, would the damir use biha despite a number of jama' ghair? I can't think of an example in my head now, but yes, theoretically, yes, you would use that. Right. Okay, let's check out Curious Cat. Let's see what you guys have to say on Curious Cat. Aman Yaz, I'm not sure what your question is. Unlimited risk application. Is that a question you're asking me, or you're asking me how to ask for it? Was there a particular moment experience that led you to wanting to study Islam at a deeper level? I think probably. Let me just type this one. I think looking back, yes, there were many incidents that led to me finally wanting to learn about Islam at a deeper level. Yeah, and one of them was seeing a scholar and finding out for the first time what is exactly studied. I think that was probably the main thing. So basically, when that's the main thing. I think I saw scholar that for the first time found out that when people study knowledge, studying knowledge is not just about learning about what the Quran says or how to give a talk or advice to people. I think the main aspect, the main kind of thing that really kind of that I sort of like what motivated me was probably learning that there's actually Arabic language to learn and there's Islamic law to learn and there's usul to learn. There's all these different sciences. And then I think the other thing that I really kind of found interesting was that I myself, like, I'm very sort of like keen on things. So when I want to learn about something, I really want to understand it all the way to the deepest level you can understand it. I'm not satisfied with just knowing how it works. I need to know exactly all the little nitty gritty. So that's probably just my mind. So I think maybe some people are like that. They just like to go at a very deep level. So that was me. I was just thinking to myself, what's the point if I want to learn about Islam? Then, what's the point of just learning it at a very small level? Why not learn it at a very advanced level? Yeah, 1 second. Let me just put the lighting a bit up. Yeah, so I think that was probably the main sort of thing that that got me. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Shayma Khan, alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. I hope you're well. I hope everything is well in America. QK, wa alaikum assalam. Do men gain itham if they do not have their foreskins removed? No. So according to Hanafis, they will not be considered to be sinful. But it is considered to be a sunnah mu'akkada act, and without a reason, a person should not leave it. But there is no like specific sin attached to it. Ali Ahmed wa alaikum assalam. Muhammad Mullah, inshallah, I'll be going for Umrah in December. Please make dua. Everything goes smoothly. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah bless you. May Allah give you tawfiq. Give us all tawfiq to go. Blueberry, alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. How are you and how was your work this week? Work was very good. Thank you very much. Very nice, enjoyable teaching. I had a very fantastic week. Weather is getting colder and now, isn't it? Yes. So weather is definitely getting colder, 100%. I don't know. Are you in the UK or are you outside the UK? Arsalan Mufti, when you came back to the UK after studies, where were there things you changed in your approach or your teaching style when engaging with UK? So when I came back, I actually did not. So basically, when I came back, I started teaching straight away. So I did not really kind of get the opportunity to teach someone in another country. I mean, I taught obviously, on the side when I was students at certain things, but I didn't kind of like have a formal class. Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I guess I probably did. I can't really kind of gauge it properly because I didn't really have a full chance to be able to teach outside the UK. But yeah, I suppose I did kind of like organize my lessons and plan them according to like the UK audience. And why? I think the main reason why is because the UK audience is probably like not familiar with an upbringing in a Muslim. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Bit of a sneeze. Come on there. So this is the sneezing I've been doing all this week. Sneezing and coughing. I don't know. Is it COVID or is it not COVID? Yeah, so going back to that question, yes, I think definitely I probably had. And that mainly is because UK audience is like their approach to Islam is a bit different from people who are born and brought up in a Muslim country, because they're exposed to other things and then you have to logically try to explain things to them. Muni wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. Is the coming out of ihram part of the completion of an umrah? That's right. Can I perform another umrah with the same ihram after I've cut my hair? No. So one ihram, one umrah per ihram. I don't know. Have you done umrah before? Alhamdulillah, all good. Hope the same with you. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. Kazmat has assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Rayan Bank and Gatehouse got rid of mortgages. Is it permissible to get a conventional mortgage? So, I mean, I don't know if they've fully got rid of it, and if there's any alternative. I'm not too familiar at the moment with the market. But if there is no other way for you to be able to get then as your own property, then there may be scope for you to get that. Yeah. Especially now with all the fear and uncertainty with rent and all that. Can you suggest any place for teenage or adult reverts to have circumcision done? I don't know, I'm not too sure, but I'm sure if you contact, if you're in the UK, if you contact the NHS, your GP, they should be able to advise you for that. Yeah, they should be able to advise you. And there are like doctors who do it for children. I know that, but they probably do it for adults as well. Yeah, so if you contact them, they will probably. So if there's anyone that knows anyone that does circumcision, I mean, in Birmingham, there's quite a few people out there. Muhammad Hussein, what happened to your throat, Sheikh? Qasmeh, you sound like a got flu. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I've got a bit of a sore throat. I'm in the same city as you. Oh, right, Birmingham. Yeah, mashallah. Muslim alaikum assalam. Would it be a good idea for my 19-year-old son to go to madrasa in South Africa to do alim studies? If so, which I haven't studied in South Africa, but what I've heard is Darul Uloom Azadville and Darul Uloom Zakaria are very well known. That's the two that I know students from, know graduates from. So those are the two. I mean, I'd probably be able to recommend, but I don't know anyone besides that. I don't know if there's others. There must be other places out there. So if there's anyone who knows any other madrasa in South Africa, that'd be good. You need a Rami kebab. Exactly, bro. Yarhamukallah. Yahdikumullah yuslih balakum. Allah give you shifa. Is the flu season now? A lot of people seem to be, I think it's that. And it's probably COVID as well. I heard COVID spreading and it's not as serious as before. I want to study at uni. Is it my duty to seek alternative students loan? Everyone takes a student loan anyway. If there is no practical, if there is no feasible, that's a better word. If there is no feasible way for you to acquire the money, then you may take a loan. Muslim, do you okay, yeah, that's the one. If someone did wudu with impure water and finds out later, does he need to repeat salat? If he's 100% sure that it's impure water, and there is no ikhtilaf in the issue with other madhabs on this matter, then he will have to repeat, otherwise he doesn't have to. Yeah, so basically, there's two things that he needs to ascertain here. Number one, was it 100% impure? If that is the case, if you're 100% impure, then the same question. If it was, is it there any scope in the four madhabs of permissibility for this? And if there is, then he doesn't have to repeat the past ones, but in the future, if it happens again, he'll have to repeat it. Arnaut, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Arnaut. Hope you're well. Ismat Ali, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. What made you do iftar? I think probably advice from many of my teachers. So many of my teachers advised me and said, don't finish your studies without doing iftar. And I've never looked back. I think that is the best decision I've made after qualifying. Very, very important. It's hard. It's not easy. Like if you're going to do a serious iftar, like an intense one, it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. It's something which you should definitely look into, because It gives you all the kind of skills that you didn't really refine in your Alamiya course. It gives you those. But before you do iftar, you definitely need to have in your iftar. You definitely need to be prepared for it. Like you definitely need to be able to read Arabic books on your own, and you definitely need to have studied several texts of the Hanafi fiqh on your own, as in with the teacher, obviously. The one and only, when will you do Riyadh Salihin and Usul Shashi? So Usul Shashi, I've actually got it on my uruk.com. So if you go to my YouTube channel, uruk.com, I actually got it on there. Riyadh Salihin, I probably won't be doing at the moment. If I do, maybe in, I don't know, 5-10 years time, maybe. At the moment, I've got no plans for it. Muhammad Hussein, it's not the cold. Now wait till December, Kasme. It's coldest in December. Yeah, I know, bro. Which Rami tea are you drinking, Sheikh? This is Rami tea. This is warm water with honey. Is it sufficient to pour water overhead and not do masah for the wudu to be complete? No, you would have to. There's ikhtilaf in this in the Hanafi school, but the stronger position is you have to touch your head. At least you have to touch your head for masah to be valid. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Okay, let's check. Curious cat. Why aren't any of your answer refers to Quran and Sunnah? Why aren't any of your answers have proof from the Quran and Sunnah? Okay, so that's a good question. When I answer questions, why don't I, in any of my questions, why don't I just like explain it fully to you, like everything to you of the whole dalil? So there's two reasons for this, I would say. The first reason for this is because explaining a dalil is only beneficial for someone who has the ability to be able to understand the dalil. And that's not the kind of ability any of you guys. This is basically that the whole point of studying an alim course is so that you can equip yourself with all of those, all the tools that you need and all the understanding to be able to appreciate the dalil. A person who does not know, does not have a grounding in Islamic sciences, for them a dalil, if I give a dalil and another person gives a dalil, they can't tell the difference between whose dalil is strong. They can't tell. Like if you say to me, oh brother, where's your dalil from us? It's from the Quran. And I just quote a random verse. For you, you'll probably think, oh, actually, that's fine. Let's go to the verse. Seems okay. So, like, you won't have the ability to be able to gauge what a dalil is. That's the first problem. The second problem is, if I was to mention every single... So, when I answer a question, sometimes what happens, the answer is in an ayah, or the answer is in a hadith, or even the answer might not be found explicitly in an ayah or a hadith, but it's actually from the ijtihad of Sahaba or Tabi'een or, people that came later. So this is why when people say, can you give me an answer from the Quran and Sunnah, it's a bit of a silly question, that is, because they've misunderstood how a dalil works. They don't know how a dalil works. The dalil is not just in the Quran and Sunnah. Dalil, like when the Prophet ﷺ sent Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, and he said, how are you going to answer questions? He said, from the Quran. He goes, what if you don't find it in the Quran? He goes, from the Sunnah. He said, what if you don't find it in the Sunnah? He said, I'm going to try my best to figure it out. Yeah, so when he said, I'm going to try my best to figure it out, what does this exactly mean? I'm going to try my best to figure it out. Yeah, so that shows that sometimes you're not going to be able to put your finger on an ayah and say, this is the dalil for this, or this hadith is. Does that make sense? So yeah, and I was thinking, shall I make a video on this? Shall I make a video of how dalil works? I think I might do a series on how dalil works, just for general public, for them to at least be able to understand how these kind of things happen. Okay, travel. Okay, Ismat Ali. I'm considering to do iftar after I complete my Alimiya studies, inshallah. Well done, do it. Go for it, bro. Seriously, you're gonna appreciate it. How do we spell on the YouTube name again? YouTube name, Roots of Knowledge. Yeah, so Roots of Knowledge. Roots of Knowledge. I really want to do iftar at some point, and I'm still trying to read through Hanafi text and teaching them. Excellent, excellent. Well done. Keep it up. Feel like I haven't solidified my knowledge after completing Alimiya. Yeah, so it all depends. I mean, the good question. I mean, I personally see as it all depends upon where you studied, how much you studied. Yeah, so where, how much. That has a big impact on your ability to do iftar as well. So I mean, I think maybe a good video to make would be, when am I ready to do iftar? Like that would be a good video. When am I ready to do iftar? And I'll probably explain like what you should really be able to do iftar. And but if a person puts their head to it and works hard, I definitely think a person can do iftar. And don't spend a year in iftar, don't spend 2 years in iftar. You're looking at 10, 15, 20 years in practicing fatwa. That is seriously, that is what you want to look at. I've got students that I've been teaching iftar to for like 4 years now, maybe 5 years. Yeah, like years they've been doing it. So it's like a long-term thing because it requires understanding of how to answer questions, how to understand an answer or even a question, how to understand the mindset of people, um, texts, all that. Blueberry 2028, what's your advice on retaining what we have memorized in the Quran, especially when we tend to forget very easily? I don't know, because I'm not a Hafiz of Quran. So I wouldn't be able to help you on that. If there's anyone who's a Hafiz of Quran, maybe. I mean, I sometimes forget ayats as well, unfortunately. And then I have to go over them again to retain them. So it happens sometimes. Haydar Ali wa alaikum assalam. What is the exact definition of dhimma in usul fiqh? Dhimma in what context? What's the context of dhimma? Arnaut, is the fatwa of the madhab given according to the qawl of Imam Muhammad regarding food products that contain non-khamr? Uh, so the fatwa basically, yeah. So Imam Muhammad and Abu Yusuf, generally their position is taken by the majority of scholars. Yeah, generally that's why it's taken. MP wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, MP, hope you're well, hope you're enjoying yourself, having a wonderful, nice, cold Saturday, windy Saturday. Haydar Ali, I have an intense question. What are the consequence implications on saying the Quran is created? Well, it basically will take you out of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah to believe that. But you won't necessarily be out of all of Islam. Is it permissible to eat a food product that is gelatin derived from pig has totally transformed into different thing? If you can prove that it's totally transformed, then according to Hanafis, then yes. But if you can't prove it, then no. Sheikh, do you live near Smethwick? No. Muslim Abi, when am I ready to do iftar? That would be a great video, inshallah. Inshallah. Arnaut, if a wife has an unshaped nose, is it permissible for her an unshaped nose to go through cosmetic surgery? So it depends. If it's generally considered like a strange nose, it does look extremely strange. Then and people see as that, then it's possible. Just like when people have uneven teeth, they can get them straightened. Something similar, yeah. But it has to be something which she doesn't just say. It has to be something which is generally recognized. Like there could be a person who's got a perfectly normal nose, but they think, "Oh, my nose is too big. I want to shorten it." Then no. Is it okay to use a Revolut card app for payment? All the accounts give you interest, even the most basic account. If you don't want to deal with the interest, so I don't know what I've heard of it, but I haven't really kind of looked into it. But the general principle is that if anyone does give you interest on anything, then that interest has to be given away. You give it away to charity. Yeah, so as long as you know how much it is, give it away. Okay. Haider, I mean, like, what are the theological implications? Like, what is the problem with it? So the theological, this is a big topic because it's to do with ilm al-kalam as well and aqidah as well. So the problem with this is that you are actually now going to um, understand the whole concept of the sifat of Allah different now. So this was the Mu'tazila position on the Quran being creation, khalq al-Quran. So in other words, the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the speech of Allah, this is like, imagine someone says something like, I don't know, the generosity of Allah is not part of Allah. This is something which is Allah created it. Or this is the mercy of Allah is not part of Allah. This is something that Allah has created. He goes into that realm. And that's why it's an ilm al-kalam issue. I don't want to go into ilm al-kalam issues like this, but you look into that kind of issue. It's to do with that. Yeah, I mean, it's like if if a person has not understood Allah properly, if a person has not understood what constitutes Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in its pure essence, like what is Allah, then clearly that's going to have implications in understanding how Allah, how you perceive Allah, how you worship Allah as well. Like the Christians, the way they perceive Allah or God, let's say they perceive God, has a big impact on their whole approach to this whole idea of religion. Sheikh Qasmi, this is an important question. Me and my friend want to know, can Hanafis celebrate Mawlid? Yes. Aidan Ali, if a person goes bald at a young age and it affects his mental health, can he get scalp pigmentation? Scalp pigmentation, is that the tattooing? Yes. Possibly. I mean, I wouldn't be able to give you an exact answer. That person would have to speak to a scholar themselves. Again, it all goes down to cosmetics, where a person, what's the fine line between a person abusing changing of their features and between doing it for genuine medical reasons? That's where a scholar has to be careful in giving fatwa. Is lip fillering jaiz? I don't know what lip filling is exactly, but I guess it's something women do. Probably need more details on it. And why is it done for? What's the reason for it? And is it permanent? Assalamu alaikum. Adil, ahlan wa sahlan. Did a front tooth of Prophet Sallallahu break during the battle? If we use the teeth for tajweed, did this affect his recitation? Yeah. So he broke one of his teeth. I think it was the ruba'i. Yeah. So the tajweed ones that are generally the front two teeth, these two. Yeah. So he did damage his tooth, but obviously, Allah has protected the Prophet ﷺ from being able to make any error in the wahi. So we assume that they had no impact on the tajweed. Will celebrating Mawlid take you out of Hanafi school of thought? No. How to be respected in society? Do you have to be alpha male as Muslims have to be alpha? I don't understand the question. Are you thinking of doing any live teaching sessions on YouTube anytime soon? Not at the moment. I do Wednesdays. Wednesdays I do Hidayah live to a class it's free of charge, but it's for Hidayah. You have to obviously know Arabic and you have to know Hanafi texts. So that's free to join. So Wednesdays at 10:30. Muhammad Mullah, would hair transplants be permissible to restore hairlines where they take the hair from other parts? I wouldn't see a problem with that. Yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with doing anything like that. Ya Allah. What's your thoughts on Mawlid? So I wouldn't see a problem with Mawlid. No problem with it. So long as there is nothing in it and nothing happening in it that would be contrary to the Sharia, like for example, dancing or men and women mixing, or people missing their ibadat, their prayers. Yeah, as long as these kind of things are not there, then there shouldn't be any problem with it. Muhammad Hussein, Qasmi Sheikh, people want to change their nose, their lips, and hair transplant, and these are only questions. Exactly, bro. Me and you know, bro. How to be respected in society as Muslim? How to be respected in society as a Muslim? So generally, you don't need to try and go find respect. You don't, as a person, Muslims are not told to find respect in society. No, you worship Allah, you obey Allah's commands in your life, your family's life, in your society, your respect will come. Yeah, that's how it works. The Prophet ﷺ, I mean, he was abused in his life, he was sworn at, he was taunted, his followers were for many years, and then Allah gave them the respect of society. Anas, wa alaikum assalam, rahmatullah. If you are told to identify 5 Hanafi primers, which would they be? So it depends what you mean by primer, but generally, if you say the mutun, then obviously Mukhtasar al-Tahawi, Mukhtasar al-Quduri, Kanz al-Daqaiq, al-Wiqaya, and probably al-Mukhtar, or even maybe Majma' al-Bahrain, Multaqal, ya Abhur. Those are some of the ones that are the well-known ones. Sweeter Man, how to keep, that's a nice name, Sweeter Man. How to keep tissue in place when putting it down there to take urine droplets. I struggle with it greatly, even whilst wearing tight boxers. Um, so I don't know. I mean, this is something which I don't obviously, have an issue with. But I guess maybe try to change different types of underwear, maybe. Or what you can possibly even do is that you just try your best in doing how you can do it and leave the rest, inshallah. So anything else that happens. So if a person has droplets fall into their underwear, that's fine as well. Just later on in the day, just regularly change your underwear once a day, maybe. Well, you should do it anyway. That's basically what you should do. But like the issue isn't as strict as that, you have to be able to put tissue in your underwear. Like, this is basically for those people who suffer from a problem where they're trying to go toilet, and then after toilet they have droplets come out, and so the scholars advise them to have some tissue in their underwear. And in the Sahaba's day, they didn't have tissue, they didn't have underwear. So what would they do? Yeah. This is why a person just does whatever they have to do, and a few drops coming out, and if they are not able to control where the drops go, then they can ignore it. Okay. Mu'min, what is the hukm of idda for a woman who has been separated from her over a year and takes khula? So when was the woman divorced? So she's been separated, but when was she divorced? When was she officially divorced? So whenever she was officially divorced, that's when the idda takes place, starts. Halima Ahmad wa alaikum assalam. If you do a makruh act in wudu, will your salah be valid? Yes, it will be valid. What is the definition of sunnah? So I actually did a video on this whole concept of bid'ah innovation, and in there I've explained it. The concept of sunnah is different amongst scholars. However, the main thing is this, that you do not introduce into Islam something which was not known as part of Islam in the early years. That's what it is. Mariam alaikum. But if you watch my video on innovation, I've done a whole video on innovation. Watch that, and in there I explain. Mariam alaikum. Is smoking haram? If the doctor says to you that smoking will definitely harm your short-term health, then it is haram. And if it's going to harm your long-term health, then it will be something which a Muslim should not do, and possibly even sinful. Why can't we read Salah at Asr time? Why can't we read Salah, Qadha Salah Asr time? You can. Qadha Salah can be read at Asr time. If a baligh non-Muslim enters Islam and 10 minutes ago he took a shower, but he didn't do madmada, for example, is ghusl still farad for him after he converts to Islam? So, according to Shafis, no. According to Hanafis, it will be. Yeah, so Hanafis would say that the person would obviously have had to have washed their mouth as well. Muhammad Hussain, Sheikh, is that what you always drink, the warm? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. What are the implications of someone who only does the fard wudu and leaves out the... So the wudu is done, salat's fine, but it's something which should not be done all the time, because it's a bit belittling of the sunnah. The duration of a woman who does khula is basically 3 menstrual cycles. So as long as 3 menstrual cycles have passed, she's now free to marry another man. Haider Ali, should I study Abhari's Asaghuji for Mantiq? It's being taught. Yes, it's good. It's a good text to study. I didn't study it, Ishaghuji. It's not necessary to study, but it's a good text to study if you want to understand Mantiq. Mariam, how do you read your miss salat? What if they are a lot? How would you? So make it up slowly, bit by bit. Allah understands. You pray every single day with every salat. Pray one qada, and it doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years to finish them. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and even if you die in the process, the scholars say hopefully this is something which Allah will excuse you for on the Day of Judgment, because you are attempting to complete them. Muhammad Hussain, Sheikh, will du'as be accepted if you don't have wudu? Of course, yes. You basically, you don't need wudu to make a dua. And have you used Qadi Thanaullah Panipati's Ma La Buddha Minhu for teaching? No, I haven't. I read it, but haven't used it. It's good, yes, nice, it's small text. I prefer Fiqh al-Muyassar. How to deal with extreme Salafi in Moses? Salafi in Moses? Don't understand what that means. Okay, if a man and a woman agree that the mahar can be given in a later date, or installments. Does it need to be mentioned in the contract? It doesn't need to mention the contract, but as long as both acknowledge it, that's the most important thing. How to deal with extreme Salafi in mosques? Say you on wrong school of thought to Hanafi. Yeah. So I mean, these kind of people generally, people who are very sort of like aggressive people, they are very argumentative people. It's very difficult to communicate with them because they've already kind of fixed that they understand what is the absolute truth, and they think that that is it, they're upon it, and everyone else is astray. And it's very difficult to kind of try and convince someone otherwise. Best thing to do is, if you're not skilled, don't debate with them. Get someone else who is understands the madhab, understands how Salafiyya works, and then tell them to speak to them. Apart from the Hanafi madhab, have you also studied the Shafi madhab and the other school of thoughts? No, I haven't. Is it halal to play video games? I wouldn't see a problem as long as the video game does not contain anything that is explicitly haram, like nakedness or anything like that. Acha wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When a person intends to travel more than 48 miles to city B and he intends to stay there for 16 days, but on the 12th day he will go to city C that is within the 48-mile radius of the city, but he will return on the same day. Will he be muqim in both towns? Yes. So basically, if you decide to stay in a place, you are muqim until you decide to leave the distance of 48 miles. Or if you decided to stay in two places and the two places were two very different cities overnight. So then, like, that was a prior intention. So if you had prior intention that on the 12th, I'm going to go to another city and stay there overnight, then that now would mean that you're not a muqim anymore. Yeah, like you did not make an intention of iqamah. Because to be a muqim, you have to stay in one place for 15 days or more. So in the question that you've asked, he will be considered a muqim in both places. But if he intends to sleep on that night in city C, that will make him musafir through the whole journey. That's right. A person suffers from the flowing of madhi. If he prays salah in the end of its time, following ashab al-udhr, does he have to repeat the salah afterwards too? No, he doesn't. Within the 48-mile radius of the city. Sorry for splitting. Yes. Have you ever debated with Salafi saying you are wrong? School of yes, I have. Many in my early days, I used to, like, unfortunately, kind of be very sort of like argumentative in these kind of things. Then I just thought, what's the point? Because if you have to keep on restarting the whole debate again every time you kind of get into some sort of conflict with someone, it's just waste of energy. Yeah. So when you grow up as well, when you start to mature, you start to realize there's no point arguing anymore. Billy go to alaikum assalam. Have you been for Hajj? Yes, alhamdulillah. Is Salafi a proper school of thought or is it something new? So Salafi, you mean by Salafi the belief in it's a belief system, isn't it? So it's not it's not a fiqh system. Basically, Salafi means that they believe in certain aspects of Aqidah, which is influenced by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, and then who was influenced by Imam ibn Taymiyyah approach. That's what Salafiyya is. It's not their fiqh. Their fiqh is generally like Hanbali based fiqh. So I disagree with the Salafi like belief if they believe in what like the Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab approach, because his approach was a very harsh takfiri approach. That there's only one saved sect, and everyone else, which is them, and everyone else is deviant. So I totally disagree with this. If teaching someone about wudu, is it okay to teach fard first? Yes. Or would you recommend to start with sunnah wudu? Yes, I would. So it depends. If I'm teaching someone like a new Muslim, I would do the whole wudu in front of me, and then I would tell them to repeat it. But if you're teaching in a class, then you can teach them the fard and then the sunnahs. Where have you studied? I studied in Pakistan. In Karachi, I studied there for 9 years, studied the Alimiya course, and then I specialized in fatwa, Hanafi fiqh fatwa. Why do you disagree with Salafi, you mean? Well, because, see, the Salafi belief is not based upon one of the early sort of like the Salaf. It's not based upon the Salaf. It's based upon Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab and then influenced by Ibn Taymiyyah. That's the issue I've got. So, for example, like when they talk about the hand of the yad of Allah, so they don't even, like, we can't even say hand of Allah, right? This is the official position of the Atharis, position of the Salaf, the true Salaf, is you can't even say hand of Allah. You say yadullah, and then their position, the Salafi's position, would be Allah has a hand which is unlike anyone else's hand. That is totally incorrect. That is, we can't accept that. Yeah, that's the main issue. So to say that Allah has mentioned for Himself a hand, or a yad, and I believe that, but I do not know the details of it. The details of it is something which I'm unaware of. And then I say I believe that Allah is free of any resemblance to any creation. That is the belief of the true Salaf. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, by zimma it was used as your du'as dues, i.e. the reason why we need to complete all salahs we miss because it's on our zimma. So zimma basically means in our legal responsibility. Someone asked me if lash lifts are halal. They're not extension, they just lift them. Lash lift, like what do? They add something onto it, so they just lift it up. ما حكم من قال امرأته مغضبا بعد أمسكها أنها تلتقي برجل آخر وتحب غير زوجها يحل علي أن أقتلك؟ ما فهمته. ما حكم من قال امرأته مغضبا بعد أمسكها أنها تلتقي برجل من قال لامرأته يحل علي أن أقتلك؟ ما حكم هذا الرجل؟ يعني طبعا لا يجوز للرجل أن يقول هذا أو يعني يعمل بهذا. هذا حرام أن يعمل بهذا، وأن يعني يحدد زوجته بمثل هذه الكلمات، يعني طبعا هذا مخالف للشرع. Did you live in UK before staying back? Yes, I was born in the UK. Real drama. If anyone gets hidayat as in at the age of 25, is it compulsory for them to make up for their missed salat? No. Haidar, yeah, so they just lift the eyelashes. So the thing is, I don't like answering questions from second party people who don't know the exact way it's done. To be honest, I've never heard of the concept of making up missed salats from precious days, months, and even years. Do the Hanafis only do this? I mean, all the madhabs do this. Yeah, all the madhabs do this. So this is basically, if you haven't prayed a salat, you have to make it up. So generally, the Jamhur position is that. So Blueberry, I don't know what you've studied, which madhabs you've studied in detail, but yeah, the general position of the scholars is that. Ibn Taymiyyah, and obviously, Salafis are influenced by him. They say that there is no qada of past salats. This is generally their position. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. So, Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for all of your nice, warm company. I heard Mufti Menk is at Hadith. Allah knows best. Maybe ask him. Sorry, I wanted to ask, how long will this Q&A be on until, as I don't want to miss out, inshallah. So the Q&A is going to finish in a bit. Usually it lasts for about an hour or so. Yeah, it's usually for about an hour or so. I usually come on 9:45 in the UK time on Saturdays. So yeah, so that's usually. Will the Sufa Dreams course be online? Oh yes, Sufa Dreams course will most likely be online as well. So those of you guys who are living far away and can't attend, inshallah, I'll be delivering a course on how to interpret dreams. So this is something which, inshallah, I've delivered before, and it's a very beneficial course for those of you guys who are into dreams and you want to know how to interpret a dream and how it works. Inshallah, I'll be doing that, inshallah. Why they're strict? India time 2:15. MashaAllah. So people from India, you guys are watching. Ahlan wa sahlan. 2:15 people. Ahlan wa sahlan. MashaAllah. Yay. Why do some people say authentic hadith and Quran only? Yeah, so I think it's just like authentic hadith. What they mean by authentic hadith, obviously everyone only follows those hadith which they believe to be correct. But the question is, what is the definition of authentic? That's where the scholars differ on. And if you're interested in this, then I've got a course called Usul Hadith course. You can join, it's free of charge. If anyone's interested, then you can just send an email to the email that's going to come on the ticker below. And inshallah, you can join that. It's 21 lessons. And in there, once you go through that, you understand how hadith works. And it really kind of it opens up your understanding to how, when people say authentic, what they really mean. What does a sahih hadith mean, and all of that. Okay, guys. So jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time. My throat is getting a bit better, actually. It feels a bit better than early on. Mashallah, maybe it's with your du'as as well. And hopefully tomorrow, inshallah, I'll feel much better, and then back to work on Monday. So take care, inshallah. Remember your du'as. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, actually, let me just answer a chance question. But if I have intended to travel to city B for 17 days, but on the 10th day I decide to go to another town, should I pray full? Again, so you've intended to go to city B for 17 days, yeah? That's obviously more than 15, so you're muqim. And then on day 10, you decide to go to another town. Are you going to stay there on the day 10? So if you go on the day 10, that's fine. That's as long as you come back by nighttime. The point is, did you make an intention before you decided to become muqim? Did you make an intention that you were going to go to this other city? If you did make intention, then you're not a muqim. Have you ever eaten chocolate-covered crickets? No, I haven't, and that would be an excellent idea, actually. In fact, I probably will start something like that. Jazakallah khair for your time today, Ustad. Hope you have a great week. Ameen. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for your kind, lovely du'as. Blueberry, my brother. Real drama. Jazakallah khair. Don't have too much curry. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Yeah, inshallah. Have eat food, mashallah. Have ifkay. I don't know what that means. Oh, take care, Ustad. Jazakallah khair. Take care, Atiya. Hope you're well. No pre-intention was made, just on the day. No, then he's still a muqim. Masir, ya Mufti Liyaqat, assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Masir, I am just about to go now. But you have come now. So now I'm thinking, shall I go or not? Shall I let my American brother down or not? See that? This is the kind of love I have for my American brothers out there. Do you have curry? Very rarely. Very rarely will I eat it. Alif, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for your Quran learning videos. You're welcome, my brother. I hope you have enjoyed them and benefited from them, and make dua, especially make dua for me and for my family and for everyone over here as well who supports my channel. Jazakumullah khair. And also check out the videos I made. So this week I made many videos throughout the week. If any of those videos are something that interests you, watch them. Join the Telegram as well. So there is a Telegram link. Let me find a Telegram link for those of you guys who are into the Telegram, the world of Telegram. So you guys can join, inshallah, and get updates. Yeah, this is the Telegram link that you can join. Afghani food. Yeah, I love Afghani food. Yeah, Afghani food. Basically, I speak Pashto. I'm from North Pakistan. So Afghani food and our food is very similar. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Muhammad Ibrahim Pashtun. Sanga hal de. Khairiyat. Khairiyat de. My cough just comes back now. Do you film in your office or living room? No, this is a separate room I have for my filming. So in my house, I've got a separate room, which is for my media room. Yeah. Every like one. Sangeeta Sugulaba. Khayma. Inshallah, you get 100,000. Inshallah, 100 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers soon, inshallah. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan, Muhammad Ibrahim. Zed Nisa, Salam girls. Does any know the rulings for Salam girls? Is it possible to travel another country without mahram? Are you asking? I don't know, Zed Nisa. Are you asking girls the question or asking me the question? I'm not too sure if I should answer. If you're waiting for someone else to answer. Anyway, I am gonna go. Jazakumullah khair. Take care, inshallah. I will see you next time. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Billy go when male teachers have class. Our brothers and sisters in the same class or different? So you're talking about Asufa Institute. So they're in separate rooms. Yeah. You are true. Inshallah. My great grandfather came from Afghanistan. Zob alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Hope you're well. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Zob. Wolverhampton Wolves. Celebration in Blackburn when we hit. Oh yes. Take care of the. We'll miss you. Miss you too. Ibrahim Sab. दुआगाने की मियाद साथ है. Okay guys, take care inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.